Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000. I'm Caedo Genesis, and this is a bi-weekly podcast every other Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, where we talk about Fallout and gaming and all that kind of junk. And I'm joined by two wonderful individuals, BADCompanySarge.
Howdy.
And our special guest, TKS-MANTIS.
Hey there.
And Mantis, would you like to remind people, those who haven't heard you on the show before, what you do?
Yeah, I make Fallout gaming documentaries. My bio says that I'm a Fallout guru and gaming documentarist, and that's the philosophy that I like to live.
A documentarist?
Yeah.
Of Fallout?
Yeah, a
Nice.
documentarist and Fallout guru.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Man, we should say what Sarge does too. I almost feel bad. Sarge,
Man, I don't even know yet. It's not worth it.
you've been here the whole time.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. It's all going to change at some point.
Sarge does the video game stuff
Yeah.
that happens to revolve around Fallout.
I play video games. I make money from it. I'm basically unemployed, but with cash.
You know what? Feels. Right there. I feel the exact same way.
Well, we had a tip of the day, and Mantis was so gracious to suggest eating your breakfast as extremely important.
It is.
I made sure to do that before we start recording, so you're not hearing me go bop 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 bop, during.
Not that kind
During
of
this.
not that kind of podcast.
All right. like a ASMR type. Man, I can't. I don't get it.
I always get requested to do them, but I just don't feel like I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't know. I feel weird when I roleplay, and I feel like that's an extreme roleplay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it kind of is.
It kind of
I
is.
think.
I've seen some very hilarious ones of them, though.
Yeah, the people who can pull it off, man, hats off to them. And the people that can make it funny, like you just said, Sarge, I mean, even more props to them. But I would just come off weird, I think.
The comment of the cast, our last PIPcast was about the spookiest, scariest stuff since we're in October still.
Yep.
In the Fallout series, and we had some replies to that topic. Sarge, do you want to read that one off?
Kefka Palazzo said, "The scariest thing in Fallout for me was my first encounter with a centaur. I was walking around minding my business out a green colour sky. Then that creature come out of nowhere and tongue whisked me. I was horrified when I saw it. Never explored Washington DC for a while after that." That was like the first time I didn't do a voice for one. I meant,
Oh my god.
great.
Nice one, Sarge.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Basically, yeah, centaurs are scary. I was saying earlier that they're pretty terrifying in the right light, and also they're just gross, horrific, which is kind of their whole background. Do you remember how they're made, Mantis?
Yeah, they're
The
FEV,
centaurs?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Magic.
Yeah.
Fallout magic.
Yeah, they are
magic.
MacGuffin. Thank you very much.
They're if I remember it correctly. Oops,
They're
if I
from
remember
Mariposa.
correctly,
It's one of the Master's experiments.
Yeah. And it was mixtures.
I guess I don't know if that's
like,
the case of Fallout 3. My mistake. I'm referring
Yeah.
to where they came from, like originally.
I feel like it's in kind of the same vein. Like
Yeah,
they were just
yeah.
like throwing humans in there with like cats and
Yeah,
dogs.
pretty
and
much.
all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff, and then boom, you got a centaur.
Yep, easy
It's
peasy.
a super mutant.
You know, it's like was it Twilight Zone that did the fly that gets in the transporter with a human, and then it becomes a man fly. I know the Simpsons parodied it, but with the Bart fly, but yeah, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
the same concept.
Yeah, centaurs
Yeah.
are horrifying.
Yeah, they can be.
The thing that traveled along with them that we had introduced in 76 was the floaters.
Yeah, they're excellent.
They're very different in 76
I like
than they
them,
were
though.
in the classic. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and they are very different. They're flat snake-like creatures in the first two games, but now it's like they have their own personality now. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the design. I mean, I'm sure people are split on the design changes. They always are on cosmetically how it looks, but like I like the different colors so you can identify them. I like the new design for them. They look. I don't know. I just like them.
I'd like to see more backstory to like how they were created, like because we knew, like I think when you go to the West Tech
they
building,
used to be bloodworms, and
they were worms of some kind. If I remember,
and so I don't know why they fly. Maybe it's gas.
yeah, something like that.
Because in the first game they just
Or
kind
that-
of like hovered. Like in 76, you can see them like almost fly, like they almost take off. But like in the first two, they were maybe an inch off the ground, 2 inches off the ground the whole time.
They're just like dragging their tail.
Yeah, And they're as tall as a man too in the first two. Like they're like
Yeah.
6 feet, 7 feet tall when they attack, which is terrifying.
Yep. They could just chew your face off.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Kefka Palazzo, for the comment of the cast.
Yeah.
Man, I feel a little too official today. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna get into the news topics. If you want to like see those of you listening, if you want to like jump right to the Fallout topic, which is usually the biggest chunk, we have the new chapter points feature, which is awesome. So you can look through the timeline and actually see the topics, or you can use the timestamps in the description. We have options, but our topic's going to be about writing, how writing could be improved in the newer Fallout games. But we're going to start with news, which has to do with Fallout. Some also, like New Vegas turning 10 years old.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday, New Vegas.
I made a whole. I
made
worked for like 3 or 4 days and made a video to release on that day. It was, and I actually made my deadline. I was so excited.
That was a really good video as well.
Really, thank you.
Like, yeah, I put it on. I was just like, I'll just pop this on the side.
Well, it's done better than
great.
my most recent ones, and I was like, this is the way I need to continue going. Because, it was fun to make. And you know the reward when you feel really proud about your video and then it does well and you're like, okay, you know what, this, So I got that feeling, and it makes me want to make more. And you've all been there. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, but I thank you for saying that. Because I just look at it as a video. You know what I mean? When you look at your video, you don't think if it's like, oh, this is the best video. You're just like, oh, I hope it's good. So I thank you for saying that.
No, I literally popped it on as like background noise, and like 5-10 minutes in, I'd stopped playing the video game and was just staring at the screen.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Well, now I feel like I should watch it.
Oh yeah, well.
Oh, Caedo, why are you not watching it?
I want to watch it right now.
Required to watch it. there's no reason for. But
Sarge has a very convincing attitude about it.
No,
So
I mean, I'd love to hear what you had to say about it if you do end up watching it for sure. So
I do recommend it.
it's just
there's talk about like outside of the game stuff that I really liked as well.
Well, yeah, I really just go on a memory lane of like, oh, New Vegas was so good, and here's my experience with it.
But I will say, on the whole 10th birthday to Fallout New Vegas thing, what Caedo has linked is like the Twitter account at Fallout saying happy 10th birthday to Fallout New Vegas. Favourite thing about it is that the top reply I've got like on the tweet is New Vegas was almost as bad as 76. Hope you get it right for the next one.
What?
That is the hottest take I've ever
I
seen.
literally stopped being friends with somebody because they said that same kind of stuff. Like, I've known this guy. Well, I mean, we're friends again now.
Man.
But for like a whole day, I didn't talk to him. We've been friends for maybe going on like 8 years through the internet. We play games together and stuff like that. But you know how that kind of relationship would go. You hang out with them 10 hours a day sometimes, you know? And so you're like talking to everybody. But anyway, he said that 76 was the best Fallout game he's ever seen, and that New Vegas was actually objectively trash. And I said, that's it. I'm never playing a video game with you again. I'm never talking to you again.
The thing with this reply is that it generally is like people are more inclined to be like, oh yeah, New Vegas is at the top, 76 at the bottom, or 76 really highly rated, New Vegas less highly rated. This is the first time I've seen someone who's put both New Vegas and 76 at the bottom. I just like a new take that I kind of love just because I haven't heard it 100 times.
I wonder what their favorite Fallout game is.
Tactics? Maybe they want Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter.
Oh, yeah, it would have to be.
I would assume.
It's got to be something
funny.
just so much different. Like, it can't be a game that's a first-person shooter or anything like that. So it's got to be one of the
Maybe
ones
they're
that
just
do
classic
things
Fallout
differently.
snob. Because I've met some classic Fallout snobs that hate New Vegas because it's not classic Fallout, and you know that's a weird thing to hear about. Because usually us classic guys are like, yeah, New Vegas is great. But when you get into that deeper part of the fandom, they hate New Vegas because it's not.
Oh, like the No Mutants Allowed?
Yeah, No Mutants Allowed. Oh, yeah. If you're like, yeah, man, New Vegas is all right, No Mutants Alloud's like, banned. Get out of here. You're done. You're done. Of course, I'm exaggerating. But, a lot of those guys over there, but then also, it doesn't matter. But just people, it's weird to hear that opinion. So
This is like decades of aggression
yeah,
against
like,
the
man,
new games.
It's not good. Okay. Runs on that same terrible engine from Bethesda. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I just thought it was good. Like the story was good. No, it wasn't. Millman. Okay, sorry.
But yeah. Anyway, happy birthday, New Vegas.
Yes, love it.
I don't know what to hope for it, because like
I thought they were gonna
you know,
announce something, but they didn't. That's all right. Don't always get what you want.
they're probably waiting until Bethesda has a game that's like equal. And then they'll
Yeah, fair
release
enough.
it.
They released remastered New Vegas, and it's like better than Skyrim, and then you're like, uh-oh.
I genuinely think that Bethesda wouldn't want a New Vegas 2 or remastered New Vegas to come out just yet, because it will just be even more of people going, well, you guys shouldn't have a franchise, because New Vegas was... I feel like that could genuinely deter them from putting steps towards making a remaster or a sequel, which could be good, which sucks.
I'm excited for Starfield. There, I said it.
Whoa! Yeah!
I am too.
And I liked Todd Howard's snide comment when Phil asked him about Starfield. He was like, well, I think people are pretty excited for a game they've never even seen. It's like, okay, Todd, calm down. It's just exciting to hear that one of your games is going to be in outer space. That's an exciting concept. That's all it is. Very excited.
Speaking of things that are in outer space, The Outer Worlds released on Steam
Yeah.
earlier this week.
Yeah. Like it.
Sarge, you're back.
Literally bought it.
Sarge had the worst time with segues last time.
I was very drunk last time.
You shouldn't
can't
work
expect me to do
inebriated.
that.
I'm calling the police.
You
got a permit for that
okay.
liquor?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not drinking
Anyway.
this time.
The Outer Worlds, right?
Yeah. I haven't gone through all of Gorgon yet, but I'm going to now. So there we go.
It's on Steam now. So now those of you who absolutely despise the Epic Store and don't have a console
Literally me.
can play can play through Steam.
Well, I had it on
And-
Game Pass, and I still bought it on Steam because I think it's a good game.
Oh, it was on Game Pass too. Huh?
Yeah, it's free. I mean, you got to pay for Gorgon, but the base game is free, quote, free on Game Pass. It comes with the subscription of Game Pass. Yeah. And so will every Bethesda game because of the Xbox exclusivity, and I am very excited about that. Always been an Xbox guy ever since the PS2. Can't argue, best console in its decade for certain. But been an Xbox guy ever since, and I'm very excited to hear that Bethesda's a part of that family now.
Man, you weren't here for that too. Well, we'll talk about Xbox too later
Yeah.
in the news thing. But man, Game Pass is a freaking good deal. I need to say that again during this episode.
I will say it till people are tired of hearing about it. Game Pass is one of the best deals in the gaming industry. It literally is, and I've said that since it came out, when they did that first like dollar, get it for $1 a month first try, whatever, and then they switched over to Ultimate with the PC as well, and you're looking at 10. I think altogether, if you didn't do it through a deal, which is impossible, you might be paying 15, but you get all of the catalog on PC, all of the catalog on Xbox. Shut up. Amazing. Swimming in PlayStation tears, and it feels so good. No, I have a PlayStation as well. They had some great exclusives on the PS4. Big time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for the next Spider-Man game.
I haven't played the first one, and I heard it was really good. I need to get it. I've heard about how good it is too. Like, I'm not even that into like superhero stuff like that, but
You can get it on PS5 as well. They're gonna.
well, I'm not
they're
gonna. Let me stop you right there. I'm not getting a PS5.
Oh, okay, never mind.
More power to anybody who wants to do that, but I mean, I tried to get an Xbox Series X day one on the launch. Not the launch, but the when they opened it up to pre-order. I refreshed the page. On the second it turned, and I was immediately not allowed to get one. They're immediately sold out. Page crashed, everything. I was like, oh no. But no,
So
I probably won't.
insane
I probably
first
won't get a PS5. All memeing aside, I think I'll go with the Series X this time around.
Okay.
I feel like I've angered Caedo.
Huh? No.
No, it's just
No, I'm not mad.
well, no,
I'm not mad. I don't care.
I'm not
even
mad. I'm
care.
just
I don't even
disappointed.
care.
I'm just kidding.
No, Elder Scrolls and Fallout games, I've had the worst experience running them on PlayStation consoles like ever, and that kind of goes into that, and that's why I'm glad they're becoming exclusive moving forward, because PlayStation has done a whole lot to just dismantle things that Bethesda tried to do. Modding on consoles totally didn't translate to PlayStation. They want to do cross-platform stuff, or at least Bethesda supported the cross-platform movement. PlayStation absolutely annihilated that as well. So it's just with them.
Well, on the note of PlayStation denying stuff, it's currently like the bombs drop week, and I'm just scrolling through the article about it, and there's so many things which is like, get discounts on X and Y, and all of the brackets are discount excluding PlayStation Store.
Oh, interesting.
Oh no.
Interesting. Yeah, man, this is my
we could-
problem with them. Like, seriously. Like, everybody else in the whole gaming industry gets on board with something, and they're like, not so fast. Like, when Nintendo is like, yeah, cross-platform is great, and PlayStation's the one arguing against it? Come on. Nintendo's the last one you would think that would be on board. But they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Like, they're fine with it. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, because Nintendo's kind of on board with that now, that Monster Hunter Rise becomes like available on other consoles, so I can play it with my roommate.
Oh, there you go.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, it is cool.
If that happens.
Well, and the people who are supporting cross-platform, they understand why that's cool. Some people just have a Switch or something.
Yeah.
Some people have an Xbox. Some people have a PC, and they want to play with their friends, and they don't want to have to go buy another console to do it, and they shouldn't have to for games that are like that. I mean, I understand an exclusive game or something like that, but you're talking about Rocket League or something? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Rocket League. Let everybody play together. There's no big deal.
Yeah. Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit already. The free Fallout first week in Fallout 76 includes, like, is part of the bomb drop week thing, or bomb drop day. So it's a free play week for 76, as well as free Fallout first for a week. When this episode goes up of the PIPCAST, I think you'll have like 2 more days worth.
It's more like less than 24 hours, I think.
Oh, really?
I think it's 21 hours after the
crap.
episode goes
Yeah.
up. Basing off of the time they normally cut things off. You got like
Dang it.
a day left.
Crap.
So make sure you have that notification bell clicked so you always watch uploads as soon as they go up.
Yeah. So you can play around with Fallout first for a day, I guess, and also get, you know, some of the discounts on games too, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. There's discounts on the Fallout games as well. Mostly Fallout 4, I think. Yeah, Fallout. The ones that are listed here is Fallout 4 Game of the Year, 70% off. All individual Fallout 4 DLCs are 60% off, or the season pass is 60% off as a whole. So you're basically paying the same, at least from what I'm guessing, for the DLCs if you just get the season pass.
Yeah. They do also have Fallout 1, 2, 3, the classic bundle, and Tactics on sale on Steam, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
They're all like 60 or 70% off, which is good.
Yeah. Go fill out the rest of your collection if you haven't already. We also have Black Friday in a month, so, you know, if you want to wait until then, there'll probably be another sale.
Yay, more sales.
Yeah. And then Cyber Monday, ooh. We'll see.
Hopefully that's going to be exactly the same, considering the current state of things.
Yeah, I know.
People like you are why the Great War happened.
It happened from a Black Friday sale.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a way to join into the conversation, and that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. So here we are.
Commercialism, bombs drop.
Yeah, no,
Boom,
that's
Fallout.
exactly okay. You got it. Yeah, because I was thinking of commercialism. Okay, you got the connection. You understood
Yeah,
what
I
was
got it.
going on. Okay, all right.
To be fair, Fallout First on Steam has a beautiful rating, which I'm trying to find because I saved it. It was just so good.
I recommended it on Steam, to the surprise of every single one of my viewers, because whenever they find that, they get angry at me. I get messages in my DMs. How would you recommend Fallout 76? And I tell them to read it, and then they read it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because it's all about you can't even play the game without it. Is what I say.
Well, the user tags for Fallout First are capitalism, dark comedy, comedy, and dark humor. Which I think
Okay,
is just objectively funny.
Hold on a minute.
stop it.
Wait, I need to see this.
Yeah, I'll go
Once I've
there.
got it saved. It's because it popped up in like the Steam recommended thing for me. I hovered over it and saw it, and I was just like, perfect.
Wait,
Capitalism, dark comedy, comedy, dark humor. Nice, that's adorable. Well, I recommended it because without the stash box, I feel like you are severely, severely handicapped in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally got to edit a video like tomorrow where I complain about the fact that the scrap box is
It shouldn't be
close to
paywalled.
essential. Should be free for all players,
It
but
should.
it's not because it earns them so much money.
Yeah. Well, and fair, and you know what I really don't like? You want to talk about some shady antics with 76. What is with the weapon damage right now? How come I have to repair my weapon? If I do a daily ops, I use 3-4 repair kits in a daily ops?
What?
More than that?
Okay.
What is this? You know?
That sounds like proper bug as opposed to just one-way stand or any other changes.
Yeah, what weapon are you using?
I'm using what I call the Scorch Bee Smelter. But it happens with like every weapon I use. Like, but with the Scorch Bee Smelter, it is a flamer with an it's a legacy weapon, a flamer with an explosive, a hunter's flamer explosive weapon. I could pull up the thing. I forget exactly.
It could be related to it being legacy, because I've heard people complaining about stuff on that.
Well,
Right now, there's
I-
been like so many hot
similar-
fixes and things, but things change daily almost.
People in my party experience the same thing. I don't know. We've just been burning through repair kits lately, and I figure it's a ploy to get people to buy repair kits. Because like I'm sitting there being like, well, I'm gonna use my atoms on that, honestly, because I need them now.
I mean, that's how repair kits came into existence. Like there was already a problem, and you can pay for the solution, kind of thing.
Adorable.
I know part of a repair stuff is just
That's a
enemies
free-to-play
are tougher than.
tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people's criticism would melt away a bit if it was free to play because of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm though I am still kind of grateful for what 76 allows us to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we
That's
still paid
multiplayer
for it,
Fallout,
obviously.
man. That's amazing.
But yeah, it's multiplayer Fallout. Whereas I've been playing RuneScape because
Oh
came
yeah,
on,
I saw that.
it came onto Steam.
Dude, we ought to hook up
And
because me and my friends are getting into that too.
There is so much locked behind membership.
Yeah, but isn't membership?
So much.
I guess it's not back in the day. I was gonna say membership's like $5, but that was like back in like 2001 because I'm a boomer.
Yeah, it might be the same, but there's an insane amount that's locked behind, and it's not all properly labeled.
Did you see
So-
that DLC, by the way? The 200, like nearly $150 DLC for like your max pack or whatever.
What? No.
Okay,
What?
look at the page for RuneScape. There's a max pack.
Oh my God.
It's like a starter pack for new players. $150, please. It's like 130 or something like that. Insane amount of money. And I asked my friend who plays RuneScape, I was like, is that worth it? He's like, God, no. He's like, if you become a member, like, you get most of the stuff that they're talking about anyway. Like, I was like, oh, okay. But, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
$129.99.
Jagex coming in hot.
Whoa. Oh, it's so bad.
I've returned. What happened?
I'm looking at the list of things that it gives you because now I have context of what they mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay,
after
that's
I've been
interesting.
playing it. Oh my God.
So is it just like nonsense?
it's a year of membership, which
Okay.
is a lot.
Okay, that kind of explains some of
But-
the price right there, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 1-year membership, but still, like, oh man.
You're gonna do it, aren't you? I can hear it in your
No,
voice.
no. I'm not gonna do it.
Dude, I'll do it
Absolutely
if
not.
you
I'm
do
still
it.
a person that doesn't buy. I'm still the person that adamantly doesn't buy Fallout first, and like literally everyone I play Fallout 76 with has it.
Yeah, I'm like the grumpy guy yelling about Fallout first, and I still have it.
Yeah, I'm shouting at the cloud right now.
Yeah, I understand. Been there myself. It's my hill to die on, and I will do the dying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we're gonna go back on topic of Fallout because we have a few more Fallout things.
Yeah.
Fallout Miami. There's a couple of overhauls we want to talk about. Fallout Miami and Fallout 4 New Vegas both had some pretty sizable trailers, and these are entirely fan projects, but they could fool you because they look so polished. And I just wanted to throw that out there and show that Fallout Miami just put out their progress update October 18th, which is going over like some of the assets they've been making. Like they've been making their own atmospheric soundtrack,
Of course they have. That's
all
amazing.
kinds of cool stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Fallout Miami, of course, is a brand new project,
yeah.
and not a remake. Whereas Fallout 4 New Vegas is a fan remake, which definitely is shaping up to look
Oh,
like
that's amazing.
Fallout New Vegas and the Fallout 4 engine. Mm-hmm. And that was shown on October 19th, so they're like right next to each other.
Well, and
kinda-
Fallout 4 New Vegas has been doing stuff all week for the bomb drop
yeah?
week. Yeah, and my Discord community server I added their announcements to my board, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made because the way they update things, it just goes straight to my Fallout 4 board or my New Vegas board, and they've been posting screenshots and videos and all kinds of stuff, and it looks so cool, looks so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
But I'm kind of trying not to learn what the ETA is because we know of like a whole bunch of overhaul projects already that have have had a whole ton of work done and then they just ended up being unfinished.
Yep.
So I don't like the idea of getting my hopes up at all for these kinds of projects, but I also love looking at them. So it's in that weird midpoint. Other ones that come to mind are like Fallout Lone Star, Cascadia. Did Cascadia come out?
It has not
officially?
come out yet.
No, and Frontier. Like those were all like earlier Fallout game overhauls that were huge too. But I remember way back in my Fallout 3 playthrough in 2015, I was talking about those, and they've still
Exactly.
It's 5 years later, and
Yeah.
they're still. So it helps keep me grounded because I know for a fact that I was talking about those things then. But yeah, something to look at though if you're really interested in seeing what mod authors can do. This is not. I don't even know if I should include this part. This is not to further the argument that mod authors fix Bethesda's games.
Oh, do you argue?
I think that
Argue
I think
against
that's
that?
like
Do you?
a different thing than what these are.
Yeah.
Like generally, they fixed it isn't to do with like giant overhaul stuff.
I have a question in that vein.
Or have the responsibility of fixing Bethesda's games is what I meant.
What is the top mod for every single Fallout game or Elder Scrolls game?
It'll be the
unofficial patch.
unofficial patch.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What?
I will say I've got problems with that though.
Oh, I do too. I hate Fallout. Fallout 3's unofficial patch can kick rocks. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. It takes away things that I got used to, like the unbreakable
it adds
anchorage
stuff,
armor. Guess what? Totally gone now. Now your power armor from Operation Anchorage breaks instead of being pretty much invincible forever, and it boards up. I don't know. A lot of bugs in it that weren't there
It
before.
adds stuff too, like cut content.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That. Well, I mean, it's cool.
See, some of us don't though. Like I don't like the cut content edition.
Yeah, you know what? I steer away from that kind of stuff too sometimes. I mean, I think it's cool to be able to relive it, but there's a reason it's cut.
Yeah, I like vanilla. I'm a vanilla boy. But I was initially like, I don't know why I led into this conversation to begin with because it's a bad idea. But I was talking about the problem with the Fallout community where they assume that mod authors, it's their job to fix Bethesda's games rather than create their own projects. So like the community keeps speaking on their behalf and being like, oh, I guess the mod authors have to fix your game now. Like that's what I'm bothered by.
Yeah. Yeah. Attitude goes a long way, and I agree with you.
Yeah. I shouldn't have been creating that problem discussion anyway. Anyway, speaking of problems in discussion,
Well, now you're gonna have to keep it in because you made it the segue.
Phil Spencer talked about exclusives because Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, they now have Bethesda, so they were asked on many occasions. Well, in this interview, Phil was asked about what that means for exclusives that are going to be on Xbox and what's going to happen with the exclusives on PlayStation and if there's going to be exclusives on Sony after this acquisition and after the other what's the name of the game for
Deathloop.
It's a PlayStation. Deathloop. Yeah. After Deathloop comes out, like what the deal is going to be. This interview is extremely vague. Like
Oh, yeah, it would have to be. Absolutely.
Phil is so vague in his answers.
You know what that means, though, right?
Yeah,
okay.
that means he's well, speaking legalese, but also kind of evading the question because from the sounds of it, they know they can make their money back just by staying within their ecosystem, which is a fun word he used the whole time.
Well, I've got a bit of a problem with the specific question that was asked as well, which was, is it possible to recoup a $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on a PlayStation? Which is literally just a yes or no question.
Yes.
It's not like, how would you go about doing it? It's literally,
Well,
could it possibly happen? Which is, you're never going to say no to that. That makes it seem like you have no confidence in what you've just bought.
well, and also
like
the
they-
answer objectively is not no. Of course they can.
Yeah.
Of course they can. PC alone like would outsell both consoles. Like if the consoles weren't involved at all and they only sold it on PC, Elder Scrolls 6 would still sell 1 billion million copies, and they'd make back all their money tenfold. So.
Yep. But we don't. There wasn't much clarification really, but what it's kind of seeming like is that there's just going to be some pretty crazy exclusives on Microsoft platforms now that may be timed but may not. We don't know.
Basically, the news is nothing's really changed.
Yeah, pretty much except Bethesda has a lot more placement on Xbox stuff. Also, get Game Pass. Not a sponsor. If you have a PC or an Xbox, get Game Pass, for real. You will regret nothing.
You play that Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition?
I haven't gotten to play it yet.
Oh.
I'm an Age of Empires 2 guy.
I can understand that.
They have-
I can
they have
vibe with what
Definitive
you're
for
saying
that
there.
one, too.
But yeah, no, I grabbed that Definitive Edition, and it is, I don't know, people say mixed, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was from one. If we're gonna go off on a tangent, I got a good tangent story. I had this friend when we lived in rural Washington.
Hey.
This dude got me into Civilization and Age of Empires 3. Like, I love playing Civilization now.
Civ is
like
so
we've
good,
been
dude.
playing it. Civ 6. We've been playing it like I think this is the only week in the past like month and a half that I haven't played Civ.
Oh my god. I will
But-
play it with all of you.
Dude. We'll get nothing done. But he introduced me to Age of Empires 3, but when I first played it online with him, like I wasn't good at it at this point. Like I didn't understand like the tech progression or anything like that. So I was really bad at the game. But for some reason the AIs were a lot more challenging, and I think he said it that way on purpose just to get me stomped. But they came over with bombards, and I had walls set up and stuff like that, so I was ready for some sort of fight. And out of one of these bombards came a stream of cannonballs and just demolished my entire wall
Nice.
in a matter of a few seconds. And I was like, well, obviously the AI is cheating. Bombards don't shoot that many cannonballs. That was like 500 cannonballs at once. So that's what kind of turned me off of Age of Empires 3, just that one situation where it's like, oh, the AI cheats at this level.
Nice.
So
I don't have any problem with the AI, but I get stomped online.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are extreme on
I only play
RTSs
ranked too, so.
online. Yeah.
Yep. Get wrecked.
Yep. I like the usually when I play RTS games online, I try to go for the cooperative like defense missions and stuff like that. Those are fun.
Yeah, I love RTS games.
Yeah. Anyway, back on topic. We have Black Friday deals already, or at least Black Friday previews via PC Gamer. They have a few links to Dell, Walmart, and Best Buy, where you can see if you're looking for PC upgrades or like even console peripherals and stuff like that. I'm guessing you can probably get some good deals on stuff. It's never too late to start shopping, I suppose. I can't really say that with confidence either, but if you are wanting or needing good, better hardware and stuff like that, like this is the time of year to start looking around. That's when I usually get my PC upgrades. I don't know if you guys are the same. Usually just ends up being a SSD of some kind. Like I can't not keep buying SSDs. It's a problem.
I kind of want a good camera and a green screen. Those are like the only two things I want to buy that I can think of within like the next year.
Yeah, you were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, I'll probably take a look on that, but that's about it. Computer's still running, so I'm fine with it.
Do you have any plans for Black Friday purchases, Mantis?
No, I do not.
See, we're all very smart people and aren't just going to throw our money at things.
I throw my
We got the
money
stuff we need.
away year round. I don't need Black Friday's help.
But this is your break then.
I thought you were gonna circle back to Xbox Game Pass.
No, I constantly just buy things without even thinking about it, and then I'm broke. I mean, I'm a responsible version of that because as soon as I get paid, I pay every single bill I need to pay to make sure everything is good. Then it's a free for all, and I need to work on that.
Man, it could have been part of the tip. Like, have a savings.
I'm trying to practice what I preach.
All right. I'll save that for like the next.
Yeah, there
the
you
next
go.
tip of the day.
There. Yeah.
Like, make a savings. Put 500 in the bank.
Yeah.
Every so often.
My boy Epic Nate, man, he gave me a speech about it one time. It's like, you need to be putting away like 80% of your income or something like that. I was like, whoa, calm down. I mean, it probably wasn't that high, but like
that's extreme.
Yeah, but it was like some large percentage of it. He's like, you need to be putting away that much. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt like my dad was like yelling at me. Like, I'm sorry. I'll do better. Start a savings account.
This is for your own good, son.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Like, take it easy.
I mean, that's good though. It's good that,
he just comes from finance, so he always like has something to say about like money and stuff. Yeah,
for sure. Winamp. Anybody remember Winamp?
Yeah,
No,
I know exactly what it is.
It was the premier media player back in the 2000s, the early 2000s.
I'm looking at the article now. Okay.
It's so good. Oh man. So I was digging through PC Gamer looking for different news stories, and I saw this one, and I'm like, oh man, this makes me nostalgic because they have
I see
Winamp.
Yeah.
Like, one of its big like popularity status symbol type things that it did is you could just download skins for it and represent the things that you liked, the hobbies, whatever. A lot of these are game oriented, like they have Deus Ex
Doom.
and System Shock and StarCraft and stuff like that. Final Fantasy VIII.
Fallout 2.
Before it was even on PC.
You had to have that
Final
Fallout 2
Fantasy.
one. You had to have the Fallout 2 one, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they linked a page full of them. The Winamp Skin Museum. It is full of them.
It's so cool. I love it.
Like, that's all the page is. It's just tiled Winamp skins. And it's fun to look at. It's fun to look at history of like what people consider to be really cool at the time. But I want to say also that Winamp is still alive, and I downloaded it, and now it basically replaced Windows Media Player.
Dude, did you get one of these skins for it?
I didn't get one of the skins. I actually have a more simplified look to it this time.
Oh man, you could have had a Daikatana skin.
So if I were streaming more often, yeah, I would probably try to make it like a like a show and tell type thing, but yeah. But unlike Windows Media Player, it snaps to itself and to your monitors and stuff like that. You can tell it to use your media keys on your keyboard if you have those, which I use all the time. So, and it finds the track information very quickly without too much hassle, like you would with Windows Media Player. It's nice to go back and use something that I should have still been using, just some fun nonsense to look at. There is something next that's not so fun to look at, and a lot of 2K players didn't. 2K21. Is that the game?
Yeah.
I don't.
Man,
NBA
that was so
2K21.
close to a smooth segue.
It was pretty bad. Do you have a better one, Sarge?
No, I'm just gonna let that one stay.
All right. 2K21. They had in-game ads that would play at the end of around the end of loading screens and weren't skippable. And it was a $60 game. It is a $60 game. So why? 2K's had a problem with this, or 2K Games has had a problem with this in the past. I'm pretty sure. With their various,
we've done the exact same thing before.
Yeah, and like they apologized kind of on Twitter about it. I don't think we should take that as a sign that they understand and learn from it, though.
No. Their apology was, oops, this wasn't meant to happen. We'll fix it in future episodes of the franchise.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're not going to fix it now.
sorry.
We'll do it next year.
We're sorry that you don't like our ads.
Why don't you just go buy another sports game from somebody? Oh, you can't? Oh, we're sorry. Oh, that's too bad.
I think that's probably part of the problem too, is because they like if you have essentially the monopoly on a type of game, like you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I thought that was something worth mentioning. You know, sports games are still being dumb sometimes.
Like,
I wish they were better.
Stupid jocks.
No, I want the jocks to be given games of good quality. That's what I want.
You know, the last UFC game was all right. Though I haven't picked it up and played it since I played it the first time though. So.
No.
But I think that's just me being busy. I don't think that's because the game's bad. But I mean, I like stuff like that. If you don't like stuff like that, then of course it's not interesting at all. But like, I think they did a good job at making a nice simulator. But they added really fun things to it, like an underground fight club inspired by like Bruce Lee with like a ring made out of like rope and snakes and stuff. It's just like really out. Yeah, you know, like it's just like some fun that you can do. Like there's the simulation part, but then you could put on like do crazy costumes and fight each other in an underground cave and stuff. And I like that. Like, yeah. Some people don't like it. Mixed reviews because of that. And I was like, well, you don't have to engage in that. You know, it's just something fun. They're like, well, we're making it too childish. And I'm like, I thought it was fun. You know, I don't know. I'm not trying to rant about something, you know, crazy, but I just thought it was a nice little addition there.
Worried about it becoming too arcadey or something.
Yeah, but it was fun. You know, it's a totally different game mode, so who cares? Like, it's all still there. It just now here's this other part that you can do if you want, and I thought that was nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Well, something that's also not good.
Something that's also not awesome.
Something that's going to be terrible, I'm guessing, is the Monster Hunter movie that's sometime coming out in 2020. I don't even know if there's an actual date yet. But this movie is most likely going to be so bad it's good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm banking on, because I'm making sure that I'm going to watch it with my roommate and possibly Nelsar, who's been on the show before. And we're probably gonna be drinking, make a drinking game out of it. Because it looks so bad. It doesn't help. I think it makes it not as good. And no, I don't want to offend Mila Jovovich fans at all if they're listening.
I'm about to be very offended.
But she was in the Resident Evil movies. That's all I see.
She was.
That's all I see right now. When
she
when
was
I
also
see her
in Fifth Element.
Yeah. Come
she
on
was.
now.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
No, it
come on.
isn't, but all right. You should. When's the last time you
She's
saw
in
that?
fun movies.
When's the last time you saw the Fifth Element?
Like a year ago.
I like
end up watching it like every 2
Oh, you do?
years.
Okay.
Like, it's fun.
Okay,
yeah.
so
it's
it
not
is
a
not
great
held up
movie,
at all.
but it's
one of
fun.
my favorite movies, but it just is not hasn't held up.
It's so fun though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. I'm just saying, like, it just hasn't held up. Like, I really like A Boy and His Dog, but when you watch it, well, actually, A Boy and His Dog is terrific, and it's very weird, and I both recommend it and don't recommend it at the exact same time.
Oh.
Well, no, like, okay, so it's a post-apocalyptic.
Like
a lot of the Fallout stuff is based off of A Boy and His Dog.
It's depressing, but also a good story. That's what you're saying?
Well, no, it's weird.
No.
What I'm trying to say, it's like the story is kind of you know, like it's just the content within the story. It's not like Fallout has sugar-coated the post-apocalypse for a lot of people. So when you actually see like what they're this vision of the post-apocalypse, like, okay, example as cleaned up as possible, because it's not like some super offensive movie that's totally inappropriate. But like everybody smells that there's a woman in this township, and so they turn the whole place over looking to be inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
Like it's
Very
like so
dark.
like they take those dark things and they reveal them, you know. And but there's a vault in the movie that is very interesting. And yeah, no, a lot of the Fallout stuff comes from there. And like I said, very like the story I guess is good, but it's like I said, it's more for me. It's not about the story. It's about the setting for that movie. I really enjoy the setting of the movie a lot, and seeing the story play out is just kind of secondary for me. Like, I don't know, just I like seeing all the world, the way it works, and I don't know. It's interesting. You can watch it on YouTube. The whole entire thing's uploaded. So if you ever have time, check it out.
Okay.
Don Johnson, before he faked his own death.
I know nothing about that, so that'll...
Faked his own death when he was married to somebody.
Wow.
Came back like 20 years later. Just kidding. Like, and everybody's like, oh, okay. He was like a Hollywood celebrity.
Wow.
Again, I don't think I have him confused with somebody else, but I think it was him that did that.
Wow. Yeah. So anyway,
great movie.
Monster Hunter. Great movie versus this movie that we're talking about. Like the
trailer didn't look that bad.
It looks very generic.
It's
yeah, okay.
It's super generic. It's like Transformers but monsters. Like this, I have no doubt the special effects are going to be amazing. Like
I have doubts just from the trailer and how nothing looks right. Because
can we talk about how Jovovich hasn't aged a day in like 40 years? Can we bring that up?
That
by the
too,
way?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to point out I'm actually a fan of her because she's a timeless immortal who will just outlive all of us.
She's a vampire for certain. There's something going on because like she hasn't aged a day.
It's
like,
possible
since the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go against it though, and I have trouble with associating her with bad video game movies now. So
fair though.
The fact that she's
absolutely.
in Monster Hunter is just like eh.
See, I genuinely enjoy the Resident Evil movies.
All of them?
I haven't seen all of them, to be fair.
Sarge.
But like the first few,
You're gonna
I
have to see the rest of
enjoy.
them.
No, I don't. I can just pretend they're as good as the first few, or the first one, and pretend the other two I watched are as good as
see,
that
the first one was good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that one. The first one was good. The second one was okay. The rest, I don't know.
Yeah. But
It got really goofy later on.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead late season's goofy. Like
back onto Monster Hunter World quickly.
that one knife face zombie or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The one that gets memed all the time.
I quit watching Walking Dead at the prison.
I haven't
at
watched
the
it in
farm.
ages.
That was like season 4 or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I walked away. But you know, they had something real good going there for a while.
For a while,
like
yeah.
Like I kept thinking, like, how is this all gonna play out? How is this? How does this end? Like, how is this going to? You know, because they did such a good job of like painting a realistic-ish, to me, like version of a zombie apocalypse. The way the people were handling it, the way, you know. But I mean, they were basing that off Kirkman's comics, and then it kind of got into some muddy waters, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Telltale games are great though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Love me some Telltale games.
RIP, by the way.
Yeah.
I have to pay respect.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much our news. All said and done.
Them's the news.
Make sure to watch the Monster Hunter movie with somebody that you want to get laughs with, and not take it seriously. Because
you should actually bring somebody you don't like.
I don't know. Like I there's this weird mix. Like bring somebody you don't like to a movie you know is going to be bad, as opposed to bring somebody you do like to a movie you know is going to be, or figure is going to be bad good.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because you want to have a good time talking crap on the movie, and that's what I fully intend to do. Anyway, we got a Fallout topic, don't we?
Yes.
We should
It's disgusting.
probably talk about that. But it's not like we're Fallout YouTubers or anything.
What is this Fallout you kids are talking about? I haven't heard of this.
How could writing improve in the Fallout games? And this is based off of. Oh, it's gonna be a deep one, dude.
I'm excited.
I knew you were gonna be into it too. There was a post on the Fallout subreddit a while ago, 9 days ago, or it'd be 10 days ago now, saying Bethesda's writing problem isn't in their lack of ideas, it's their lack of expansion on these ideas. And I figure that's a good point to start on. And the post was by Night Fluttershy. Thank you, Night Fluttershy. You created a good topic, got lots of Reddit karma. Good job.
The most valuable currency.
Yeah, it is.
I have 10K, thank you very much.
I've actually got some. I'm surprised.
But I figured since we'd already kind of skirted around the idea, especially when we had you here, Mantis, talking about and we talked about the institute and stuff like that, and how this kind
Such
of
a good
topic
faction.
this kind of topic kept coming up, where we're just like, well, we want more explanation, we want more execution on like what this faction's goals are, and that goes back to, you know, the trouble of writing. And
I have a direct answer to why that happened with Fallout 4.
are you gonna say dialogue?
No, like I actually have a direct. There's a reason.
Oh,
There's no explanation to anything in Fallout 4. Like when you go around and you get into something and then you're like, wait a minute, why is this the last I'm hearing about it? Like you just start something and then it seems like it's over. Like when
Yeah.
it comes to finding out stories, backstories, stuff like that.
Is this going to be like VR or some theory like that?
No.
Oh.
It has to do with the development of the game, like how they wrote the game, how they did it.
Real thing.
Yeah, Emil did a presentation at a college around the time of release of Fallout 4, where he was talking about his team, talking about Bethesda, and this wasn't gaming industry related. This is like him going to schools and talking about what his job is. Emil, by the way, Pagliarillo, however you want to pronounce that, is the lead writer for Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Skyrim, like he's on that cast. Todd Howard's college friend. They've known each other forever. He was doing these speeches, and he even gets into saying, when crafting Fallout 4, we didn't just have writers in a room writing all these ideas, but we would go to the developers, and we would go to the coders, and we would go to the quest designers and the world designers and ask them what they thought a good idea for a quest was. So essentially what they would do is he took a whole bunch of ideas from everybody on the team, and they just started like, oh, okay, this can go here, this can go here, and they crafted that into the game world. But what that leads to is a lot of experiences with not very much depth, in my opinion.
yeah.
And so unfortunately, I would have to go back again and say that Emil is quite possibly the biggest problem in Bethesda since the start. Like he's consistently proven himself to do things like that kind of lead to. Like if you're looking for expansive stories, if you're looking for a story that has depth to it, I would not go with him, is what I would say.
Right.
Like he uses techniques that I wouldn't dream of using when trying to craft such a world. You know what I mean? And it's cool that these people got their ideas in the game. That's awesome. The whole team gets their ideas in the game, but it leads to a really shallow experience because none of it's getting expanded on.
Yeah. It's just like a basket full of oh, this might be really cool, but like very little follow through in like the rest or impact and the rest of the story, which is...
Well, yeah, because how is this other, guy supposed to think like, okay, all this stuff is going on over here, I need to connect this to this. No, that would take forever to try to connect everything and make it, I mean, and it wouldn't be everything, but you know what I mean, like trying to,
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I think it's a cool idea, like I said, to, have everybody's input, and I just think that might not have been the best way to go when, like, trying to flesh out Fallout 4.
Yeah, it probably became more compounded with the options of factions, too. Because between Fallout 3, which seemed like a more cohesive story, not perfect.
Oh, it did.
But
no, it was much more cohesive because, again, I think they let writers write the game as opposed to everybody else.
Because it was a lot more linear in its story too, where you'd still be like siding with basically one faction or blowing them up, kind of thing, as opposed to the 4 factions you have to deal with in Fallout 4. Now I'm starting to understand why the criticism. The shallow or deep as a puddle criticism that Fallout 4 kept getting.
That really stands out for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
People say it about Skyrim, and I don't get miffed about it, but I don't agree with it completely. But with Fallout 4, I'd have to say that's...
Yeah. I still don't like that phrase.
I don't like the phrasing either.
Because it's not specific.
Well, it's also overused. Like, people say that when they think a game is bland nowadays.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't have as much impact.
Yeah, but like genuinely though, in Fallout 4's case, it is as wide as an ocean, and maybe deep as like a creek. Yeah, like because there's something there, but only in certain spots, only in pockets. The Silver Shroud quest, there was another one.
Pikmin?
Yeah, he's a good example, but again, you get right to the to there, and then it's over. It's like,
the Immortal Family one. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I mean,
Cabot House?
Yeah.
Billy. People don't.
Billy's film.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The Cabot House.
Yeah.
That's a great quest. Lorenzo Cabot. Again, we could have even seen more of that. They could have tied. It doesn't matter what they could have done, But yeah, I love the Cabot House missions, and the whole quest line as well. But there's stuff like that when it used to be the whole game. Every quest was like that, you know. And then you go to Fallout 4, and it's just a bunch of Radiant quests with a couple of pockets of a little bit of meat. A little bit of meat in the bone, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the criticism comes. And then, again, why people put so much pressure on mods, because mod creators come in and they make a bunch of quests and they make new game worlds and they make, you know, even if they don't make new game worlds, they can make NPCs to make quests in the games that have more depth. And I think a lot of people are really like that, so.
Yeah. I just, man, I worry about mod authors sometimes.
Oh, me too.
The ones I've gotten to know a little bit, where some of them actually feel this pressure of responsibility to do the fixing, whereas what they should be doing is whatever they want, like you know what they would consider to be something fun to add to the game rather than fix things. So maybe like an artistic problem that a lot of creative types deal with, I think.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Well, and you know, these people that are making these games, they are not setting out to make something bad. They're not setting out to disappoint.
Oh, no.
They're not setting out to trick you. They're trying to make something to the best of their abilities that you're going to enjoy, you're going to want to spend your money on, and then they get paid for their time that they put into it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people seem to think that that's not the case, that, oh, this game developer cut corners on purpose so that we couldn't have a good experience. They can run away with the check. It's like they know that Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all that stuff, it's going to sell like hotcakes. They know that. They know that anytime they release anything like that, it's sold, you know? So to think that they have ulterior motives, like, oh, I want to make this bad on purpose, is silly. Like, because I feel like that seems to be the mentality. Like, Bethesda's just doing it on purpose. Like, they're not doing it on purpose. They're being stubborn, for sure.
Oh,
Bethesda's one of the most stubborn game publishers of all time.
Absolutely.
But I don't think they're malicious with it. I think it's just stubbornness, old school stubbornness. Well, This is our engine. We've worked on it forever, and this is ours, and we like it, and it's really easy to work with, and we're gonna keep doing it. It's like, yeah, maybe you should use a different engine now. And I think Microsoft made them, because Microsoft came in and they're like, we already are working on a new engine for Bethesda.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh wait, no,
thank
I think that was ZeniMax.
Whoever announced it.
Yeah. I think that was.
But I mean, ZeniMax is under that umbrella now too.
Yeah, thankfully,
because they're under Microsoft at this point now.
Yeah,
which is beautiful.
Which might
Microsoft bought them too.
Yeah, which might trickle down. I'm hoping it does.
Oh, it absolutely will, because what happened before, Providence was it's a finance company. It's a financial company that deals with finances and how to boost that and how do you boost all that stuff. And then Providence was in charge of ZeniMax, which was then in charge of Bethesda. Now the chain of command is Microsoft, Xbox, ZeniMax, Bethesda. Mm-hmm. So Xbox calls the shots, and that's a gaming company. So you're gonna
there's gaming involved.
Yeah, at least a gaming company has a hand in the choices, as opposed to just a financial stock company. You know what I mean? Like,
that is nice.
That's why and I can almost guarantee that's where a lot of those predatory nonsense, because like, I'm not everybody knows, if they know my content, knows I'm not some Bethesda defender where it's like, oh, you know, whatever. But I will say that those guys' passion, like especially like the big guys like Todd Howard and stuff like that, they don't want that. They don't want to hear that they're the guys that are making these microtransaction choices and things like that, and oh, they're ruining gaming. They don't want to hear that. Like, it doesn't matter how much they accomplish. They want to make great games that people enjoy playing. Mm-hmm. That's literally what they've been doing. So I know those choices didn't come from those people in Bethesda 100%. There's no way, because it's suicide.
Yeah.
Like, from a game developer point of view, it's suicide for your game for 76 to have the things that it had happen. And I guarantee you that came from a financial company. It had to have.
Yeah.
Too many stupid choices because Bethesda, they know the inside of the gaming industry. They know, oh, that choice is a bad one. I'm not going to do that. But if you're forced to, I really feel like that was the case.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, it seemed like every possible reason behind 76's early release was that it was pushed more corporate nonsense.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and then cutting corners, which is a very corporate thing to do. Nuka rum.
Before
bags.
Now, who's heard of a week-long beta for real? Like, before 2018, anyway. Like, it was just nonsense. It was a glorified demo, is what it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back on topic, we could talk about like writing in 76 and how that's improved, because we don't have to talk about Emil the whole time. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't plan to. I was just saying like.
Oh yeah.
I think that's and I didn't even mean to like throw shade at him.
Oh no,
I was
he's a good topic though. He's a good talking point because he's been deeply involved with some with a lot of this stuff.
He's been the problem for Bethesda for 15 years. You're correct. The biggest shining problem at Bethesda for 15 years. Though I do commend him on his weight loss. The dude lost a ton of weight and looks amazing nowadays. So.
Oh, good.
Gotta give props to that.
I want to see who the lead writer is for 76.
I'm sure Emil's up there.
Is it Emil?
I imagine he would be. I haven't looked it up, so I could be wrong, but I bet you.
Oh, I guess he has. But
yeah.
It may have been. Okay, so the story was spotty, but kind of overarching, like dealing with the Scorch Plague in 76, which
I bet you he wrote the Scorch Plague main quest line.
I think he did.
I bet you he wrote that entire. Yep. And then I bet you someone else wrote the Wastelanders main quest line. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
This is the problem I'm referring to.
Fallout 76 Wastelanders.
Yeah. Let's see if you can find who wrote that.
But there wasn't too much problem with the Scorch questline. It was just mainly the fact that there was no NPCs to actually.
Each their own.
Maybe that helped. The lack of NPCs and learning the story.
I don't know. But that Wastelanders main quest line's pretty decent. It's better than Fallout 4's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It just
so if he wrote that, props to him, but I don't think he did. It doesn't have his signature on it, like like the first main quest did.
I'm having trouble finding it. All I'm finding is.
Do you know what the name of the quest is?
The Wastelanders quest?
Yeah.
Well, it's several different quests.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like if we find one of those, we could probably find the main writer.
Buried Treasure's the penultimate one.
All right. Buried
I think it's
treasure.
like Glitters in the Dark or something is the final one.
Oh, there's a lot less information on 76 than there is on the whole entire series because nobody chronicles it like the other stuff.
Yeah.
Man, the wiki for 76 is
It's a travesty.
often incorrect.
I'm seeing no, they don't have any.
Bethesda Game Studios?
Well, it's by Bethesda Softworks, so I think that's a different branch. An official trailer released on February 4th announced Wastelanders release date amid the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, I blame Todd for that too.
Lead quest designer was Eric.
Interesting.
Eric Ferret-Baldwin. Quest designer writing was Brian Chapin. Liam
Just saying,
Collins,
boys.
Matt Daniels.
Just saying, weird.
Maria Hamilton, Alan Nates.
I bet you, Emil also didn't write the Silver Shroud quest or the Cabot House quest.
I can tell you what he didn't write in Fallout 4 in general, or I guess in DLC. He didn't write Far Harbor.
Yeah, I know that he didn't, because other people take over the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because such stars like Emil, they got to take breaks.
Yep.
Give that brain a rest. Excuse me, I've already given you 2 exactly the same stories. I need to take a break. Well, how did they get 200 years in the future then? I don't know. They froze in the vault. All right. If you say so, man. No, actually, I don't have a problem with the cryogenic stuff at the beginning of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It adds a little sci-fi boost to it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it doesn't bother me at all.
I wanted more. I wanted more pre-war time. Is what I wanted.
Yeah, they can keep that. I'm glad to have seen the pre-war stuff, and like a part of me wanted to see it, but I think overall it hurts the series to show it. Like you just gotta, because it's supposed to be a memory that you like can't remember. Like in that universe, it's supposed to be like this distant thing that like seems so rose tinted. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the nostalgia of the pre-war, and all these people 200 years later, they have no idea. Maybe a couple of ghouls are alive before then, and that keeps it alive too, where they tell stories that might not be completely true about the pre-war, and it just becomes this like Wizard of Oz type area. But again, seeing it at the beginning I think that was cool, for sure. But
yeah, I kind of saw it more of like getting more attached to the characters, like adding a bit more urgency to the actual story, like once you actually started it, because at the very beginning you are like thrust into this family, and then like you're running to the vault, and then you're by yourself kind of thing. It seems awfully quick.
It would have been cool to have more
for-
vault stuff. Like the nukes are going off. Oh my god! I mean, maybe an hour of time in
Oh
the
yeah,
vault.
even that. Yeah, for sure.
You know, to get to know everything, you get more connected to your wife. Maybe do a couple of quests where you're helping people, or getting to know the people, and then you get frozen.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
getting to know the
it's like,
people in your
where's all the
neighborhood.
people?
Like
It would have taken, yeah, exactly. It would have taken an hour, but they got criticized for their intro for Fallout 3 being too long, and so
Yeah.
that's probably why it's so short.
yeah. Okay.
Because we were like, I have to replay this every time, and all it takes is like just the ability to skip through that.
Oh
just
yeah,
start.
like you don't even have to too. Like it saves right before you leave. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
just rebuild your character from there.
That's what I do.
Because it says right there, are you sure you want to
Yeah.
leave? Finish your character? Yeah, so.
I don't. I don't. I don't think there's an easy answer for the intros of these games. Either way, they're gonna be.
I don't know, New Vegas pretty much hit it right on the button.
Yeah,
Hey, boom,
I agree
you're
with
dead.
that, to be fair.
And then you get revived, and it's like, well, I guess you're better now. And then you're like, oh, what do I do? It's like, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, who shot me? Yeah, I don't know. They're just like, oh, they just go figure out who shot you. Like I enjoy that. But speaking of that, by the way, the actor who played Doc Mitchell suffered a pretty serious accident, and there's a GoFundMe going on. That I think it's probably surpassed its goal already, but the New Vegas community and the Battlestar Galactica community and stuff really got together and raised like $350,000 for this brain
Oh,
injury
wow.
that he was at a Battlestar Galactica convention, and he fell, and he's an older guy. He fell and hit his head really hard, and the whole he went paralyzed on the entire left side of his body, like can't get out of bed, and his wife can't go see him because of COVID. Like it's a mess, and so since he might not be able to work again, a lot of us pulled together. Like we're looking at, I think it was like $350,000, maybe even $400K at this point, which is really cool. It was cool to see all those communities come
see it.
together
We'll
and support that.
we'll link that down below too.
Yeah, you
just in
should,
case.
because any help it's for his wife,
Yeah.
so that she can maintain all this stuff that she's gonna have to once he gets out of there, if he gets out of there. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's at 330,000 as we're recording.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I thought it hit 50, but that's awesome.
yeah, I'll put that down there in the news.
Cool.
section.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, because that's the doc, man. Come on. Yeah. On to that though. All memes aside, I really do think that New Vegas like really did hit the intro to a Fallout game on there. Now, I don't have a problem with being a vault dweller or anything like that, and like learning about all that. But New Vegas set up you to be in this world, I think, really, really well. Like, you get robbed because you were delivering something. There's no backstory to you. There's a little bit. People talk about Lonesome Road, things like. There's a little bit of like mentioned backstory, but it's just a delivery you did. You just went there and delivered something, and now everybody's mad at you. Why? Because you blew up their whole, entire
Yeah.
world. But that's okay.
I think it's
You didn't know.
yeah, it's like, well, between Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas, it's between like voice protagonists and silent protagonists. Like you can roleplay the career a lot easier because your backstory is kind of shrouded in mystery too, which helps in this case.
That voice protagonist is super handy for streams though, and I will consistently say that forever. Like, I really like being able to listen to a conversation in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it limits creativity because they're not going to record as many lines as they would have just writ. Oh my goodness! I was going to say written, but I stopped. As many of the lines that they wrote for like the the non-speaking ones, you're not going to see as many responses or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm hoping, like in future games, like this was Fallout 4 was the experiment, and they're going to go back to silent protagonists just so there can be more.
We'll see with Starfield.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, 76 already gives us a hint that they might be going back.
No, you wouldn't do that in an online game at all.
You wouldn't do it, but they've at least got the stuff and been able to play around with it.
The dialogue is great.
76.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the best parts. Once they added NPCs and you see the way they do dialogue now with the panning cameras and the depth of field and the different engaging dialogue moments. If they keep that system, that I definitely prefer it over every system I've seen in any Bethesda game so far.
Yeah.
Very good. But to them, storytelling is a huge thing, and you never know. They might, like I said, I always say it. They've added so many features to their games where people are just like, "This is terrible," and I never want to see it again. But then it just stays there. It just stays there and stays there and stays there. Even if nowadays we think it's great, like fast travel. Fast travel was one of the biggest controversial things they ever added to anything when it came out with Oblivion. And now it's like a state. If you don't have fast travel in one of those types of games, people are like, what? What is this?
I have to run?
So, yeah, I have to move it. Like, Morrowind was just like, nah, man, figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, there was no fast travel system. There was no, like, you could get on one of those big, like, silk boys, whatever they're called, those big long-legged bug things.
Silk Strider.
Ride those. Yeah, there you go, silk boys. You ride those around. And then Oblivion's like, nah, just fast travel. Like, who cares? And people were so mad. You could look up articles to this day. You can see forum posts of just people destroying Bethesda over this. How could you dumb down this game so bad for common people, common peasants that wouldn't even know how to play an RPG? Oh, they were so mad. Oh man,
That's weird to think about now.
yeah. Now think about how weird it'll be when you have 10 more years of Bethesda voice protagonists to hear that people used to complain about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, I wonder though, like, we know for a fact that it reduces the choices in
Well, yeah, it would seem
dialogue.
that way, yes. Especially now because you have to do it with both genders.
Yeah, with
Not
male
trying to-
and female. Like that.
Yeah, you have
that's
to do
the
it with
main,
male and female voices.
because we had
Yeah.
that in you played Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. Like
Yeah,
Like-
I didn't play the female one, but I wanted to after a
That-
bit because I was like, I want to see how she would react to these things. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's the exact same.
yeah, I'm
but
sure it is too. Like, but it felt
Yeah.
like really rough in
I
some
want to
spots.
play more of that, man. I haven't played that in a while. Now I want to play that
it's
again.
fun, dude, but
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for Valhalla too. Anyway, go ahead. I can talk about that forever.
it felt really rough with their dialogue moments. Like it felt like those games have always had voice protagonists, but the fact that they had to split it between male and female characters means that they had less depth for the main character.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm more in favor if it, like when it comes to Assassin's Creed games, especially. It's like you are playing as an assassin, and it's this person.
Yeah, single
Like
person.
it's okay. Like, but again, I guess they're not trying to cater to me when they're making male and female
Yeah.
characters either. Like I've always been represented in video. I'm a white, long-haired white man.
Yeah.
Like I'm represented in every video game medium possible. So like I don't know what it feels to to not be represented. So I try not to like preach about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But personally, I feel like even if I was a different gender or color or whatever, I still would prefer them to just pick a person. That's who the story's about. If you're going to do a story-driven like story, like
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where it's different between like the Assassin's Creed games and Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
oh, absolutely,
Because
yeah,
in Elder
absolutely.
Scrolls,
That's yeah.
you're not an named individual. You're like this figure.
Exactly.
So that's why the voicing thing doesn't work as well in Fallout 4 either. I complained about it 6 weeks ago, I want to say, on an episode of a podcast, where the 2 points I brought up were the financial side of how it's going to cost more to do the whole voice thing, and the role-playing side, where I brought up like my Raider characters who were just Mr. Generic American Man,
Yeah.
whilst trying to roleplay as like
I
being
remember, I
Raider.
remember you saying that. I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I am from America, and I'm here to kill you. I'm a Raider man.
Sarcasm, aggression, sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sugar bombs. Your daily dose of sugar. Ice cold.
And there were like really hilarious things added to Fallout 4 that weren't like as a result of voice protagonists that weren't
Silver Shroud.
super apparent. The Silver Shroud, for example, like the
Stop
when you're
right there, criminal scum.
when you're wearing
I am the Silver Shroud. It's like this guy crazy.
when
Like,
you're wearing the Silver
loved
Shroud
it.
armor.
Oh, it's so good.
But also if your character's been drinking and like they start and you do this dialogue skip thing, they start saying drunk things.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to add that in.
It's freaking great.
That's neat.
But you
I would
don't
have liked you to. Never mind.
what?
No,
Okay.
I don't think this should be included. Before I say it, I think with lower intelligence, your speech should have changed too. It did in the first two games, and it
Yeah,
should have
it
with the
should
voice
have.
protagonist.
It should absolutely.
Now, how offensive that could get is none of my
that
business.
could get pretty offensive. Yes.
It would get immediately offensive, but damn it, it's just, you know, I'm a purist. Like I talked about it with the Legion. People got mad at me because I said the Legion before New Vegas, when they were in Van Buren and all their lower there, they used to use the crucifixes as a bathroom so that the stench of their waste would torture the people that were being crucified even more, and people were crucified naked with big iron, like rusted nails through their limbs. And in New Vegas, you see them tied with little ropes,
Yeah.
totally fully clothed. Everything's fine. I'm like, and then somebody twisted that with, Mantis just wanted to see the Legion literally, like crap and pee all over. It's like, okay. What I was saying was they were much more brutal and then sugar-coated. Anyway. Yeah.
I feel like some of that had to be like just for game rating's
for
sake
sure.
had to
For
be
sure.
reduced a bit.
Yeah, I'm not that dense, but
Right.
I'm just saying I like to see the representation of that world being just one of the harshest places to exist, because it is. Like, you're in the Mojave Desert in New Vegas. You're in the hottest place in the country for the most part during a very hot time, so it's just hot and miserable. And then you also have all these murderous gangs of people, post-apocalypse. Come on.
Yeah.
But New Vegas hits it a lot harder as well. You talk about authenticity, because New Vegas brings up the like sexual assault aspect sides of the wasteland. It brings up the drug actions and much more than the Bethesda ones do, in my opinion, where you see a lot more addicts, you see a lot more victims of physical abuse that weren't really being shined a light to, but would definitely be going on in the wasteland like that. Like, just because people are terrible, you know what I mean? Like, people are just terrible things, and unless they're not. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, on the topic of New Vegas, like, New Vegas somehow managed, minus the protagonist voice dialogue thing we just talked about. New Vegas had multiple factions as well.
Yeah.
Like Fallout 4.
Sure
However, there were quite a bit more memorable moments, and like, what do you think made those memorable?
The personality of the factions.
Okay.
The Fallout 4 ones, it's like, okay, I'm trying to simplify this so it's not just like some long tangent, but it's like each faction in Fallout 4 to me stands for like I would say maybe a mood or like a vibe or something like that. Like, okay, so I'm the Minutemen, and I am the scrappy underdog that just wants what's right for the Commonwealth. I'm the Institute, and I'm super technologically advanced, and I'm evil because I have to be. I'm the Brotherhood of Steel. Chaotic good? Question mark? Don't really know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with New Vegas, it was much more gray than that. We already knew there was this also helps. NCR, Brotherhood of Steel, at least on that side, they already had fleshed out lore.
Yeah.
So they were already like, okay, so everything that happened over there, now they're pushing east. So here's the NCR spread thin. How would they react spread thin? How would they do this? It's just the reason I think you see so much more memorable moments is because it goes back to that same argument that happened with Fallout 4. With Fallout 4, you had like all this shallowness when it came to the content, but with New Vegas, it was almost like the opposite. Like, everything got that treatment of like, okay, what's this person? Why are they here? What are they doing here? What, they really fleshed that out to the point where, and like to the point where like things like the Legion got kind of sidestepped because they were fleshing out so much stuff, and I feel like they ran out of time when it came to
they
fleshing
did
stuff
for sure.
out. Yeah, but I think that's why, because it's just the depth of actual personality in the factions themselves that shape that world. They're all a part of that same thing, same melting pot. Yeah.
But you said something about like having the history of the previous games to help, or the lore of the previous games to help with the world building of Fallout New Vegas, and I think that's a very key point, because I think the most that Fallout 4 has mostly is the railroad stuff in Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, and then of course the Brotherhood, which went back into kind of what the Outcasts were doing, once Fallout 4 happened. But that's always been like the Brotherhood thing. So I don't know, the other factions like the Minutemen, like where this was their brand new introduction.
Well, the Minutemen is a suffrage of what Fallout unfortunately seems to like to do, which is, okay, so where are we at? We're in Boston. What's Boston? Well, Boston's got baseball, it's got Fenway Stadium, and it has Minutemen history. Let me tell you about the Minutemen. And so they look at these statues around the area. They're like, let's base some of a faction culture off of that. And instead of adding depth to it, they're just like, well, these are the Minutemen. So now they're here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's their mission? To be in different settlements all over the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
As someone who hasn't learned American history all that well, because I'm not in America, my assumption of what real life Minutemen were is soldiers from like the 1800s, 1700s maybe, who built houses.
Okay, yeah. Well, essentially, they were armed militias. So, like, if you were in a town, say you had a town, I don't know, Yorkshire. Let's say Yorkshire, and you own that now. Yeah, and you're like, this is my town. I am the king of Yorkshire. Okay. And like, if you had an attacking force or something like that, you could call on your Minutemen. Your boom. Okay, here you go. Boom. Here's my Minutemen. It's just like a standing militia army for the most part.
A militia then.
Yeah, essentially, but like what you said, they would also do those things. Like they would go and they would build things, the humanitarian efforts as well. But they could be called to arms immediately to, like, defend, I guess.
From the sounds of it, then Bethesda did capture them perfectly.
No, they did.
Didn't add anything to them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did, but it was just like, here's a Minutemen. But they're in the apocalypse. You're like, oh my god, that's amazing. But like, I mean, and I don't fault the faction for it. I don't even mind Preston Garvey that much because a lot of people have a lot of complaints about him. It's just could have added a reason why they were doing that. What was this? Like the driving force just seems to be that they've always done it. Like, oh, we're the Minutemen and we always have been. Well, okay, cool. Why are you doing that? Well, let's not talk about that right now. There's a Mirelurk Queen. It's like, yeah, I'm being facetious, but like. They don't, like we've been talking about, they don't get into why, really.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's been a thing. We like to, and it's like you could think, well, they want to protect the wasteland. Okay, why do they want to protect the wasteland, though? Like with Piper, her dad, her whole story, and it's like, so she wants to be a journalist because, you know, she wants to expose things like that in the future to keep other people safe.
Yeah.
Pretty solid backstory. Makes sense. Okay, I can vibe with it. Every faction should have at least that going on for them. Now, the Institute and the Railroad have the benefit of being from Fallout 3. Same with the Brotherhood. But, you know, the Minutemen, they don't have the benefit, and you see that they get not fleshed out. And the same thing happened with the Legion in New Vegas, and I'll criticize them there for that, too. They should have spent more time just fleshing that out.
Yeah.
Because now all we get is Rome Daddy and his obsession with pushing west.
They mentioned something in the original post, Night Fluttershy's post, about the gunners and their severe lack of like any substantial lore.
No, they're just an advanced raider gang.
You get McCready, who tells you a little bit about them, and you get mention of them in the Quincy massacre, where they're still in Quincy, and the Minutemen escaping them. Like,
yeah, that's Creation Club stuff though, so that's not even canonized, is it?
No, that's actually in the game. Yeah.
Well, oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but the fact that it wasn't expanded upon is like a bit of an issue, like a missed opportunity, I guess, because all the gunners are at this point is slightly more organized raiders, really.
They're not. Yeah, just better gear.
And that's one of the points that was kind of hammered home in the original post that this conversation's based off of, was like it would have been so much cool, and there would have been probably a little bit more investment in the Minutemen if you would have been like, well, we now have enough strength, let's take the war back to the gunners and get Quincy back. Like, that would be cool. I think that would be neat. But
yeah, and you get to the Creation Club, like I said.
Oh, you get to in the Creation Club? That's
yeah, and but it's not canonized because it's not in the Creation Club. Yeah, but yeah, you go fight the war and win, and it's just, I mean, it's neat for what it is.
The second battle for Quincy.
Well, it's like, this is why, like, it's hard to translate those classic games into these newer ones, because with the first two games in the Fallout series, they had to rely on fleshing everything out.
Yeah.
The meat of the game was fleshing everything out, because you were playing this isometric game that even at the time of release didn't look like it was a current game. It looked like an older game when it came out. So like, you're playing this, but where it stood out was everybody you met had a story. Every settlement you got to, there was a reason it was there. There was something going on. There was something. But what happens, and the reason it gets stale, is because the more, like you said, all the gunners are, if we think about it realistically, the gunners are another enemy that they were like, okay, we want a better version of a raider, but it needs to be, more distinctive and a little bit more beefed up. Maybe not quite Brotherhood of Steel, but they got some gear, and so they're like, okay, here's this faction, the gunners, they have all this gear, and so they make them as an enemy. But then they probably don't think, well, they're going to want to know everything about them, where they came from, what they're doing, because to them it's just another hostile NPC that is fodder in the wasteland.
If I can say too, didn't they originate from like the Malden vault?
I'm not sure actually. I'm not too keen on my too up to date on my Gunner's lore, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I'm not quite sure where they come from.
I think that like some of them did come from the vault, but I'm not sure like how much of a thing was it as just like, are there vault dwellers, or just like, a few of them happen to be. I can't remember how significant it actually was.
Yeah. They're basically just described as a mercenary company.
Well, yeah, and see, and that's what I was going to say is, back then in the classic Fallout games, even if you were Crimson Caravan or if you were Fargo Traders, you had this background where it's like, okay, the Fargo Traders, here's the Fargo Traders lore, so that guy who's involved with Fargo Traders, it all applies to him, bada bing, bada boom, and like that's just what. But by the time you get to such an advanced gameplay thing, Gunner is just a bloat fly to them. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. I'm saying from a game developing way.
Right. When
they're putting in Rad Scorpions or whatever, oh, okay, here's some Gunners just sprinkle around there, a little tougher of an enemy or something like that. And I bet you it got lost in the fray of like, here's some stuff. Oh, who can we blame this for? Oh, we'll blame the Gunners, for this, whatever's going on over here. And you got to think about it humanly like that, like, oh, humans are going to make this way. But like, I think it comes from the expectation of the classic Fallout games. Everything is so fleshed out that it's not impossible to do it that way now, but it's just very unlikely that someone's going to put the time to flesh out every location, every NPC. But you know what? That's not even what we're asking for. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of fleshing out. Would have been nice. Like, yeah. And I think that's where the complaints come in, where it's like a little bit would have been nice.
Yeah. In the classic games, they also had a very much more niche audience as opposed to the wider audience that Fallout 4 does.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I couldn't find anybody who even knew the games besides me and my friend.
Oh yeah,
like I'd be like, yeah, Fallout, and they're like, what the hell's Fallout?
Yeah, so like
amazing.
Like in this sense, in the newer games, especially, I'm sure newer game design. I'm not a game designer, but I'm guessing that a lot more information needs to be spoon-fed to the player as opposed to discovered.
Oh, absolutely.
So like, when you talk about the classic games, you have to discover things. You have to explore.
Well, there's full-blown courses by like accomplished game developers that are just like how to get a player to like start your level correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to there's so many things you have to like teach them. Even if oh, I hit the keyboard WASD, I move, mouse move, you still have to walk people through every aspect of that. And you know what? Bethesda does do a good job at that. I will say that right off the bat. They teach you how to play their games beautifully each time they release one. So, anyway.
Were you going to say something, Sarge?
You better not.
Yes. The thing I was going to say was the word yes.
Oh, like I did during your recording. Cool. I don't know if we should go back to the classic games. When it comes to Fallout, can we talk about Fallout Tactics a little bit?
No, it's forbidden.
No?
Completely forbidden.
I want to include you
How
more,
dare
Sarge,
you mention its name.
Fallout Tactics is probably a bad idea because you haven't.
No, Tactics is fine. What's wrong with Tactics?
No, I don't think Sarge has played it.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about Tactics.
Yeah, Sarge, why don't you become a real Fallout fan for once?
Yeah. Jeez, Sarge.
Isn't it on sale on Steam right now?
I already own it. I own the game.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame you for not playing it, actually. It's really different.
I don't
quite
blame
boring
anybody
if you're not into it.
for not playing it.
I've got to beat the first two Fallouts first.
Well, it's not bad, though, because the way Caedo's talking is like, it's like, oh, you don't want to play that. It's not bad. It's just very different from what
Yeah.
I wanted it to be when
No,
when I was a kid.
I'm with you on that. Like,
Because I was like, oh, new Fallout game, and then I was like, oh, what the hell's this?
It's got a completely different art style, completely different play style if you're playing the RTS mode, and like it still has elements of Fallout, but as you get
it holds
further
up,
and
though,
further,
as an RTS game.
what's that?
It's a decent RTS game.
Oh yeah, for sure. But as you get further and further, you start noticing more and more of the game is not quite finished. Like there's just giant chunks of the map, like huge decrepit buildings that you can run around for like up to 20 minutes and not find any loot or enemies. Like it gets pretty ridiculous later on. But there's working vehicles that you can use on the field, like, you know.
Oh, that was the weirdest part for me.
I know,
It was
right?
cool, but it was super weird the first time. I was like, wait, am I driving this? Like, is this like an actual like a vehicle in Fallout? This is weird.
Yeah.
Like, because you had the highwayman in Fallout 2, but I mean, it just did it on the world map. You didn't like control it on the actual map, clicking around and stuff. So.
Yeah. Whereas these ones, it would both increase your map travel speed and let you use them like both in the encounter maps and in certain missions, which was.
I like when new people play Tactics and they get to the world map, and they're playing it in this day and age, and they hit that world map and they get a new encounter like every split second, like literally every like 0.4
Oh no,
seconds.
that's the frame rate issue. Yeah.
The frame rate, and then when you tell them, oh, it's an FPS thing, your computer's too good to like, you're literally running an alien computer right now to this game. Like the computer this game was made on is so far beyond like you you are running space age technology to this game. It has no idea how to handle it.
Yeah.
They tied, and I think it was a dumb decision to tie encounters to FPS rate.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
But they probably didn't think it'd ever get over like
76
20.
did the same thing though.
Of course they did.
They
Monkey
tied
see,
character
monkey do.
speed. They tied character speed to frame rate
FPS.
at
Yeah,
the
they
very beginning.
did. That's true.
Yeah.
They did.
People were hacking the
Ooh,
game
yeah,
by
it's all
upping
fixed
their
now
frame
though.
rate.
But yeah, yeah.
It's so stupid.
But Tactics will work though. Like now, like it works now. But ooh, man, I've had to explain that to so many people. Like, yeah, there's a fix for that. It's your FPS.
Yeah. I also ended up using the high resolution patch for Tactics.
I usually don't mod the classic ones.
Yeah. That's the only mod I use on them at all.
Have you you get into that restoration patch at all?
Nope.
With a kill app restoration on Fallout 2?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's one I absolutely recommend. I usually just play vanilla Fallout 2. But Kill App's restoration patch acts as a it's just like one of the ones you find on the newer games. It's an update patch that fixes a bunch of bugs and things that were supposed to work a certain way finally work right. And then it also adds every single bit of cut content from the literally everything that was cut from Fallout 2 gets that. The EPA and everything, that whole quest line, there's like 4 or 5 different other cities and towns that get added. New like Kaga, this he was like going to be the chosen one, but you stole it from him by being better than he is.
Ooh.
So he like chases you through the map about it and gets all mad about it. He's like, you're not even fit to be the chosen one, and he gets all in your face about it. It's really cool. Like, definitely suggest it. Like, yeah, that, and I guess I do mod them because Fallout 1 has a fixed, or Fallout Fix It, or whatever it's called, fixed, I think, and that adds cut content if you want it to. But what it really does, Caedo, is it adds a take all button to Fallout 1 when you're looting things.
Ooh, nice.
Yep, and that's why I download it every time. Take all.
That's the only reason. Take all button.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lifesaver when you're playing
really
Fallout 1.
is.
It really is.
I like when I did the Fallout 1 playthrough, I did have to cut out most of looting and selling and stuff like that just because of that.
Well, and it lets you scroll through the menus with your mouse scroll as well. So just those UI updates alone make it worth like downloading. But it re-adds the cut content where the super mutants invaded each town. If you waited too long, like if you didn't get the water chip fast enough or destroy Mariposa fast enough, each town would slowly get destroyed by super mutants. So like you show back up to the hub and everybody's dead and it's just a bunch of super mutants patrolling.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really cool. And you can adjust the time limit too for when that happens. So like you can customize it so it doesn't happen too fast or too slow or whatever. It's just a really cool little 2 mods that there you go. There's 2 mods that I really think people should look at for classic games. It makes them better to play.
Yeah. Sometimes, depending.
Because sometimes I like the Fallout 2 vanilla because I like to steal from San Fran, and I also like to go get the Enclave armor and get super OP right at the beginning.
Yeah. And also, like, the most, the biggest barrier of entry for a lot of people in Fallout 1 is the timer, and adding another timer back into the game is probably not helpful the first time through. So
fair enough. Yeah. Well, and see, that's the glory with that first Fallout mod. You can completely not add any cut content at all, and it still gives you the updates to the UI and the updates to the bugs and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Which, yeah, I think that's a cool feature.
That is good.
And you can also customize it to like lore friendly to super ultra not lore friendly mode, which is also really fun.
Weird.
Just little tweaks and changes that they made, and it's cool.
Oh, cool. Did we have any more to talk about, like, improvements on the writing of Fallout? Or you think
Sarge?
I'm just gonna redo a bunch of requests myself, and they'll be much better.
Oh.
Yep.
Do we get a teaser on
I'm currently rewriting reunions.
reunions?
Yep, that's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let me just look that up.
You
Really
start
quick.
at Fallout 4, and Oliver Swanwick walks up to you and says, "Guess who won the lottery? I did."
Oh no.
And then you know that Sarge wrote it. and then he Oliver, man, runs right into that pit of scorpions.
No.
Seen again.
What? No. The rewritten version is going to be like he just decapitates himself immediately.
Dude,
Like after he says it.
he has really become the mascot of New Vegas for no reason, for literally no reason.
The one survivor ends up going to get killed by rad scorpions if you don't shoot him in the face yourself.
Yeah, well, I always watch him with binoculars on my streams.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we just watch him with binoculars from where we met him.
Yep.
And you can just see him run out there, and then all those big, giant rad scorpions just... It's like, oh, man, F's in the chat.
It's pretty great.
F's in the chat. Did you see... Were you in the stream when I was playing Dead Money last?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, my... So it was about my 6th playthrough of Dead Money on stream. And this time, I had a bunch of... this is on the topic of those patches that we were talking about. These fixing patches that fix everything and make everything.
Did you have the
bug fixes,
like the J.E.
unofficial
Sawyer
patches,
patch?
stuff like that. Yeah, well, I had a bunch of plugins or whatever, just a bunch of things to make the game run better and everything. So I am doing Dead Money, and I'm like, all right, guys. I'll show you how it's done, because a lot of, when you guys, I don't know how often Caedo actually live streams, but you both should know, like, a lot of people are different in your audience. You may have maybe 100 people watching in one stream. It's not going to be the same 100 people the next time, So, like, I'm like, oh, I'll show you guys how to take all 37 gold bars. No cheats, no big deal. And so I grab all the gold bars, and I hide, waiting for Elijah to walk by me, and he walks by me, and I run over to where I usually go, crouched up, and get to the force field, and it just immediately turns on. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's not supposed to happen. Usually I can get right after it. Like 10 or 15 times I try this, right? The exact way that I've always done it. And I think I came to the conclusion that one of the patches changed the time frame by a second. Like how to get up there so that you couldn't do that anymore. And I said, oh, if that's the case, and I threw the 37 gold bars on the ground, just right where they were, and left Dead Money. And they're like, what? Why didn't you just take a couple of them? I was like, because I'm finally letting go. And they said that this is the day that I finally beat Dead Money. So I just wanted to talk about that. I beat Dead Money finally.
Oh, wow.
Because I let go.
Nice.
But no, I was enraged, Caedo. Like, I pulled up a previous stream, and like on stream, I like played the stream back. I was like, look, right here I am taking all 37 gold bars, no cheats. I know I could do it. But yeah, I was furious, but hey, win some, lose some. I finally beat Dead Money, let go. Didn't take any gold with me.
Yeah.
And I felt better, I did.
Man, one last thing on the writing thing. All the DLCs tying into the main story is freaking awesome. Other games should do that.
Oh yeah, they're talking about Ulysses all the time too. They're like, there was a courier in here looking, for that guy. They're like, oh, what courier? Like, they said, let Courier 6 handle it. He'd figure it out.
And Joshua Graham, like, the connection between like the main game
yeah, Joshua.
and the DLCs. So great.
Joshua Graham's the best character in Fallout history. Nobody even knows. Nobody even gets it. They don't even understand because they only see like you know what I mean? The surface pass-through fan knowledge of Joshua Graham versus what he really is so, it's so good.
Yeah.
Baptized once in fire. Oh my god. He is the best character.
All right. Well, let's end the topic on that. If those of you who have the suggestions on writing improvements on the Fallout universe or things that kind of irked you when you were playing through some of the Fallout games, we all have them, I'm sure. Like, how would you improve them if you could go back, if you could be like a developer for a day, fantasy type thing?
Naked Sunny smiles. When are we gonna get it?
That's one option. That's one option. That's Mantis's option.
That's my option. My option alone. All right. Everybody else can get their own option.
But yeah, now we're gonna move on to what are you doing / working on. Mantis, you didn't write anything.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was looking at it. Like now, I was like, oh yeah, look at me, not writing down what I'm supposed to.
Well, do you want me to start so you have time to think about it?
No. Oh. I can absolutely tell you what I'm working on.
Oh, okay. Do it.
I've made a Minecraft server for my community. I've been working on that with a couple of my long-term friends from my online faction who have way more tech knowledge than I do about that kind of stuff. It's been fun. But video-wise, I'm working on a connection video between Elder Scrolls and Fallout about the Nirnroot conspiracy involving the children of Adam. So I'm hoping to have that done, hopefully, by the time this is uploaded, but it might be a little after that. Yeah.
Is that...
That's it?
Are you playing anything? I mean, you talked about what you were streaming also.
I'm probably going to stream Outer Worlds today because I got it on... I've never played it on PC, so I want to see how that is because I've only played it on Xbox One. So
oh, nice.
Probably going to play that. Been playing Minecraft, which has been really fun. It's always fun to join there. I'm trying to think of real games that I've been playing.
Yeah, real games.
Age of Empires 3, Definitive Edition. That's been good. Yeah, I think that's it recently. Oh, I want to get in on this double XP crazy weekend with 76 or whatever is going on with all that.
You can level up so fast right now.
I might actually stream that tonight, actually, because I want to jump in there and check that out.
Make sure you got the lunchbox buff so you get triple.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's insanity. What are they trying to cause chaos? What is this? Oh my god.
I've gotten like 10 levels in
That's amazing.
in a like 8-hour session.
Well, I got my Fallout First Atoms, so I'm probably going to spend all of those on repair kits since my weapon breaks all the time, and then jump in there and get some work done.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of leads into mine, I suppose, and Sarge's, right?
Wait, you guys playing 76?
Sarge's
Always
streaming.
That's all he ever plays. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you live in Appalachia.
I play it every
2102.
single day.
There's nothing wrong with that. You like it, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I broke 1,300 hours now.
Okay, Sarge.
It's officially the Fallout game
that's
I played
both impressive and scary at the same time. I'm like, oh man, that's a lot. That's pretty cool. And then I'm like, ooh, are you okay?
Here's the thing, that's a lot, but at least it's a lot because it's literally my job. I come across people who are like,
that's
I'm level
really fair.
like 800 and I've put in 5,000 hours, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's
and the older people that I talk to in life seem to not understand that aspect of it too, because I'm like, I like, don't you just stay inside all day and work on your computer and stuff? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's work though. Like I'm paying my bills doing that. I just happen to really enjoy it sometimes, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Just like any other job. Sometimes, and I implore anybody to remember that when they're thinking about content creators, that, it sounds really great that video games is my job. That's so cool. But understand that it's not that simple.
Yeah.
And that's why we get so jaded.
No, here's the crazy thing too. Like, we do make a passive income, but if we stop making videos, like just, decide to stop for a month or so, we have to try our hardest, like double down to recover.
Yeah, well, they think, you're like, in my case, you're a Mantis, so you have X amount of subscribers and this many people love you. Yes, you're right. There's a couple thousand people that no matter if I took a break or if I did anything, they're going to watch my video, and that is a couple thousand people. Very grateful for it. But there's a huge difference between 2,000 to 3,000 people watching your YouTube video and 50,000 and 100,000 people watching your YouTube video, especially when it's your job. If it's just a hobby and you're not, this isn't your income, it doesn't matter, you know. But every once in a while, that's why we get burned out, because we're like, if I don't get a video out this week, then YouTube's never going to put me in the algorithm again. Like, you get worried about it. Like, it's not the audience's fault. You fear the algorithm, at least in my case. I fear the algorithm, not the audience.
Same.
Yeah,
like we already talked about it on my channel. Like I am fighting it pretty much every video.
Your channel is one of the most insane cases I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, at first, like, no offense to you, because I didn't know you. When I first saw it, I was like, did he bought his channel? Like, is this just a botted channel? Like,
No, like, it looks like it.
The subs?
It looks like it
does,
from
100%
from the outside.
But then once I talked to you, it took 5 minutes of talking to you, and I could immediately tell that was not the case. I was like, are you serious? Like, what is going on here? Like, because if you would have botted it, you would have been like, yeah, look at all my subs, you know, look at it, because that's how those guys talk. Like, you were like, I don't know what the hell's going on with my views. Like, I had so many, and now what happened? Like, and you're like, the old ones are doing fine, but it's just like, yeah, man, it's that algorithm.
It's so hard to push new content on my channel. It's absurd.
Well, and like I said, I really encourage, and I do it all the time, or at least or whatever. But if you're looking at pivoting content, YouTube and other people have put out videos where they talk about the topic, where they talk about pivoting content, how to do that in where it doesn't culture shock your entire YouTube page, you know, where it's like, oh, like, because I did that Full Throttle video. I did a full video that was like a expose on this game Full Throttle from the 90s. Tim Schafer's first directorial debut. He did Psychonauts, things like that, and it's like, oh, this game's so good, it's so good. And a lot of people probably agree with me. But because of what my channel is, it got zero traction, like, at all. Yeah. Like, even from my loyal fan base of people, like, it barely took off from there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Ouch. Same with my Tony Hawk video. Tony Hawk's Underground is God tier. I'm sure 1 million people agree with me that Tony Hawk's Underground is God tier, but only 14,000 of them saw that video. So it's just interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just, you guys all talk. You think about it too as well.
Oh, yeah.
The algorithm is a mystery on purpose. So.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
By design. But, like, I'm assuming the next spike for me is going to be, like, anything I do in Cyberpunk, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of this is what I'm worried about. Every Fallout channel is going to cover Cyberpunk at the same time. Now, that's going to be good for all of us, because if people are looking up Cyberpunk content, then they're going to be like, oh man, all these guys are covering Cyberpunk, look at this.
Yeah.
But what could also happen is we all cover the exact same thing at the exact same time, and then nobody watches it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just like, so
kind of like
I
the
just
Outer
hope
Worlds.
that it's the, yeah, exactly like that. That's exactly what happened with the Outer Worlds. Like, a couple of guys got it. Like, a couple of guys got, like, the views for Outer Worlds, but the rest of us Fallout guys, nope.
So
you don't get that. You don't get those tasty views. You get nothing, and you'll like it. Gruel, can I have some more? No, more. But hopefully with Cyberpunk, I'm worried that I'm not gonna like it. I said it.
Really?
I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. Yeah. I think that I got so, like, I've been avoiding every bit of anything and that I could find about it. So I don't know anything about the story. I've seen pictures and videos of the game, of course, and I've seen the logos and all that kind of stuff. But the more I see of the game, the less I think I'm going to like it. And this ties into The Witcher as well. People are like, you need to play The Witcher. It is the best game you'll ever play. And I was like, oh, okay. So I haven't played Witcher 3. Okay, so I do want to state that, because I've heard that is the best one. But I played Witcher 2, and I immediately was just like, it's not that it's bad, it just wasn't for me. It just, it's not for me. And I feel like Cyberpunk's going to be the same way. I feel like I'm going to be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, Keanu, let's go Keanu. And then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to be like, you know what, this maybe wasn't really what I was looking for here. And now I hope I'm wrong, because it looks like a really fun universe. It's definitely a game universe I want to cover and look through the lore of, because it looks amazing. But gameplay wise, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see. I've already planned out kind of what character archetype I'm going to go with for now when I first start it. And
nice.
I'm
going to be a street kid. I'm pretty sure that's
Corpo.
one of those things.
Yeah.
Oh man, we are already enemies. I already hate you.
Corpo, street kid, and what are the outskirts people? I forgot. I don't remember.
There's
3 of them.
Gaylords. But that's always my faction name that I choose is the Gaylords with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it looks very neat, and I love the art, and I love everything visually about it. Just when I see gameplay of it, I go,
Yeah.
And again, not that it's bad. It's probably going to be a blockbuster, amazing game, but it might not be for me. Is what I'm saying.
You know what it reminded me of is when we saw Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, its first like debut type thing, and when the game came out, it had so many performance issues, so I couldn't pull off the really cool stuff I was seeing in trailers. I was just like, frame rate.
You see, and that's not even what I would be worried about either, because like even if it was running at 120 FPS and full-blown 4K, 8K, whatever, and everything looked beautiful, I still don't know if that's the game that I want to play. Like
I'm hoping
it's a preference thing. It's like a style thing for me. It's not even like this game is bad. It's like
gotcha.
That type of game. Like like if it, because it looks like a first person shooter. It looks super linear already, and that's fine. But it looks almost like Rage. I don't know. There's a lot of things going in there that I'm like, because if there's one thing I learned, man, Rage taught me a very important lesson, like a super important lesson. That I loved that game so much until literally the last 30 minutes of it. Like
Rage 2?
No, the first one.
Oh, the first one.
I was like, I was like, this is the best game. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, I was like, even linear, like, this is amazing. Oh, John Goodman, excellent. Like, I was so stoked on everything it did. And then, like, 30 minutes before the end, I was just like, really? Like, when I beat it, and the ending happened is what I'll say. I was just like, oh yeah, and I just remember just being furious. Like, that's it. I was so mad. Oh man, and I've held on to that, and I feel like this is gonna be one of those cases. Now,
oh no,
crucify me if I'm wrong. I know CD Projekt Red has a stellar reputation, but when I see Cyberpunk, I see Rage, and there's something not right. There's something not working in my brain. There's something that's telling me I shouldn't like be so excited. I don't know.
Maybe
anyway.
just cautious. Maybe just being really cautious.
No, it just doesn't look appealing to me. Like it's hard to explain. Like when I see gameplay, not when I see screenshots, not when I see trailers. When I see actual gameplay of it, it looks unappealing to me. And I tweeted about it because I think Sarge remembered because he said something like when I mentioned that. I tweeted about it a week ago, I think, where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this game. And I was like worried. I was like, unpopular opinion? Question mark. I don't know if I'm gonna like this game. Like, when I see gameplay of it, I'm like, ugh, I don't know, man. But again, not because I think it's gonna be bad. There's gonna be millions of people who love this game. I just feel like for me, it might not.
Yeah.
Get my juices going.
Well, that's okay because there's other games.
No, it's totally okay. Absolutely.
There's other games coming out around this time.
I'm sad
too.
though, because I want to like it.
I want it to be good. Well, we'll see.
Well, it will be good. Let's not be foolish.
But will it
it's
be
not
good for
be
you?
A bad
That's
game.
that's the question.
Yeah, I want to have fun with it. I want to play it. You know what I mean? I want to wake up in the morning and be like, oh man, Cyberpunk. Let me go back to that. You know, like. That's what I crave from the industry right now, where you just like you can't stop thinking about it. Like, going to sleep thinking, oh man, what am I going to do tomorrow? Like when I get in that game, and then you wake up, oh man, it's time. You know, get your breakfast, and you like go to your computer. Like, oh man, let's go. Like, I want that feeling again with something, and I hope, you know, like it doesn't have to be, you know, a game doesn't have to be super amazing to give you that feeling either. You know, it's just your enjoyment level of it, and I just want to enjoy it that much. So. But I mean, don't listen to me. I spent $900 on the Sims DLC. I'm hardly someone to listen to when it comes to... Yeah. And I just spent 40 more because they're releasing another DLC expansion pack.
You mad
Snowy
man.
Adventures. Get to go snowboarding. What? Oh my God. Yeah, I spent like pretty much $1,000 on Sims DLC because you know what? Double that because I bought half of it on Xbox One well before I got a PC, and then I was like, no, now that I have a PC, I'm just going to buy it all again. You know, I'm the exact opposite of you when it comes to that
Why
stuff.
you do? Sarge, GTA 5, please.
Oh,
say the rest of the things you're playing.
I I've been inside for 8 months, so I did a commuting GTA 5 because I just needed to experience the real world and outside again.
I've done similar things. Yes.
Yeah. I literally drove normally, listened to the radio,
Dude, that's
popping
the best
my
way
head.
You ever play a GTA 5 roleplay server?
I don't play online.
Okay. Normal GTA 5 online, I completely agree with you. But there's roleplay servers out there with like 100 people on them where they all drive normally and they all go to their normal jobs and it's amazing. We stayed in one for like a week and that was some good times, man. I got pulled over because my car was reported stolen. And oh, dude, no, it's great. It's great. It was like the cops like rolled up. I was like, "What's up, officer?" And you had to give him my ID and stuff. Oh, yeah. And then we started making methamphetamine. I don't know. It went off. It went off the rails really fast. Like, cause I was a pilot. I was a pilot, doing a great job, flying planes, doing great. And then someone's like, "Hey, you can make a lot more money if you were selling meth." I was like, "Oh, dude, you make a really interesting point."
Yes.
So he had me go make the meth for him.
That's the most GTA thing.
Yes, it's the most GTA thing that anybody's ever said. But you know what? Now I miss it. Now I want to go back in there and play it again. It was so fun. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. I'm such a Donald Trump around here.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. I'm just playing GTA 5 normal. I'm just sad. Don't want to leave my house. So, do you ever drive on the wrong side of the road in GTA 5 to feel more at home?
No, well, I didn't have a car or anything here in the UK. I was always motorbike, so...
Wait, you don't? Wait, do you drive the motorbike like on the sidewalk? Like, what?
Actually, I just remembered, I had to drive a motorbike. It was fine. Nobody ever ran me over. It was fine.
I would literally... probably hurt myself and maybe even some other people if I was trying to drive in the UK. I would forget so fast to like turn on like, oh, that's the right way. Like I would totally mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm dumb.
Well, I wouldn't
even think.
I actually don't have much interest at all in open world modern type games, kind of like GTA 5 and Watch Dogs and stuff like that. But what I have been
Red
playing,
Dead, man?
No, I don't like the Western style. Sorry.
It's okay.
Doesn't sound okay.
Hey, if I make a video, do you know about the stories of Red Dead 1 and 2, like,
no,
in depth at all? If I make a video about both of those stories, like, because they're really, really good, would you watch the video for me, like, as a personal favor?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you need to understand how good those stories are.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Continue. I'm sorry. It's like, seriously, Red Dead story is probably my favorite in gaming history. Like,
That's good.
And I don't like Western movies at all.
Yeah.
But that game, it's something special. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay.
I will shut up now.
So we talked about a little bit. I was playing at the very beginning. I've been playing RuneScape a little bit with Buddy Nelsar, and just started to get really annoyed with all the members only stuff because it's a free to play. Came to Steam, got to try it, said I did. Now I'm not going to now. Playing 76 with the bomb drop week. What I've been playing a lot though, like a lot more than everything else, is Noita. This game came out in its 1.0, I think the last week or something like that. And it is a pixel art roguelike that is entirely physics oriented. So like all the physics work. The fire burns things that are flammable. The oil catches on fire a lot faster.
Okay. Nice.
Any gaseous anything rises to the ceiling. You're
Okay.
spelunking basically. It's kind of like Spelunky with entirely
Physics.
destructible environments, and like,
That's really cool.
It's insane. And you're playing as a wizard.
You recommend really good games, by the way.
I thank you.
Yeah. No, like seriously, I always go play the games you recommend, and I always love them. So
You're playing as a
here's
wizard.
another one.
Yeah, you're playing as a wizard. And because it is a roguelike, you start with 2 wands, and like one's usually an explosive type and one's a range type. And then the wands you run into and potions and stuff that you find throughout the dungeon are generated too. And then like when you hit the end of each level, you can swap out the different spells on your wands and stuff. So there's actual customization as well as perks. So like do all kinds of crazy stuff with your wizard abilities. But overall, it's more just like delving into this cave further and further as far as you can go, until you fatally blow yourself up with something more powerful than you thought. And then cause as much collateral damage as possible. Kite actually ended up just sending me some screenshots of a wand that they had that automatically fires rocks or boulders every shot. So it's just screenshots of Kite buried under under rocks. But yeah, if you're looking for a roguelike, also blood and water save your life. Like you will regularly catch on fire, so make sure you know where blood or water is so you can put yourself out. Or have a potion of water that you can just dump on the ground. But it's so much fun, dude.
Nice.
That's most of what I've been playing for sure. And what else? Oh, this isn't a game. It's something we've loved for a very long time. Me and my roommate. So we went halvesies on the 20th anniversary Hybrid Theory bundle from Linkin Park. And it came in this nice condensed box. It had a pretty sizable book in it. All the Hybrid Theory related music and EPs and Reanimation albums. There's a digital copy, CD copies, and a cassette tape of, I think, some demos, which was weird.
Was a place for my head on Hybrid Theory?
Yes.
Ah, beautiful song.
Yeah.
Dude, great purchase, by the way.
Yeah. So now I have, an 80 track digital download of just pure 2000s Linkin Park angst. So
Angst is right.
ooh yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the angstiest albums of all time.
But I love it.
That and Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Oh,
the
for
angst,
sure.
You can feel it in the air.
Oh yeah, you can smell it, you can taste it.
Yeah, it's thick.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I agree, dude. But all joking aside, both of those albums that were just mentioned, terrific albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I think we kind of went over what all we've been doing too. I don't know if you wanted to mention Elder Scrolls Online, Sarge.
Nah, I'm not that big a fan of it, to be honest. I just put it in because I literally couldn't work out anything else I've been playing.
Okay.
Feels. Mood.
Well, cool. I guess that's all there is to it. If you want links to the stuff that we talked about, even some of the tangents that we went on, like Michael Hogan, Doc Mitchell, his GoFundMe, those can be found in the description down below. And we hope to see you in a couple of weeks in our next PIPCAST 3000, where we talk about Fallout and stuff. Everybody take care.
Yeah.